another interview. And today I am joined with Mack, owner of Jumpshot Classics. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. So we're gonna jump right into this interview. So when did you start your business and why?
I started this business right after I graduated. Actually, during my senior year of college, I started doing this like online, and I would had a friend who was doing it at the same time, and I kind of caught on from them. And we would go thrift a lot during like my Christmas break, and I decided to make an Instagram about it as well. You know, doing Instagram, posting his posts and something on there.
Right.
Did the same exact thing. As soon as we kind of put me on, told me about some other storefronts that were like really popular at the time, and I kind of like saw that their business model, and I was like, all right, this is what I want to do. I had a visit the store and we cheated at the time, next up in my life. And we had went to check out the store, and as soon as we walked in, I was just like, this is what I do for the rest of my life, basically.
Right.
And since then, it kind of like step by step, brick by brick, trying to get to that point where we have what we got now.
Right. So have you like always been in streetwear? Like what's your journey? Where did it start? Like what did you go to school for?
I went to school for business, so business management. Went to Texas A&M for like 4 or 5 years, something like that. Graduated. I always been into like streetwear and clothes and sneakers, mainly sneakers first. I was always into like vintage basketball and like old school music, so like Tupac, the Biggie, like Michael Jordan, Shaq, all that sort of stuff. Like I've always been into like those characters, and it was always kind of influenced how I was as a person, how I moved, and how things I like, and things I was interested in. I feel like that always played a part into like my lifestyle, like so. Then when I kind of put the love that I have with business and making money into the two things that I actually like sneakers and clothes and stuff like that, it just became like the perfect matchup. So.
I love that. So with this store, like how would you describe it in 3 words?
I would describe this store as an experience, fun, and a good feeling. Because I would say when we come in, our whole staff is trained to basically like walk into the store, make sure that you're greeted, make sure you can probably get a compliment, have fun, get a basketball, shoot the basketball. Like there's so many assets to our store that like is a part of our daily routine for making each person have an experience every time they walk into the room. So we're trying to really cultivate that into our business. And any other facet that we can just kind of like make sure that the business continues to run well and does what it was to do.
Right. So like customer experience is really top priority for y'all.
Top priority.
Love. So what were you doing before?
Well, it depends because there's separate sessions of my business and time that like I had to start over. So before Jumpshot I even became a thing, I was in college and I was trying to get through. I worked at Sprint for a while. I worked at Sprint before I started Jumpshot back in my little Corpus, and I started Jumpshot for a year in Corpus Christi. I had like our first little pop-up space there. We moved from Corpus, I moved to Dallas, and I was living with my sister for a little bit. I knew that my whole goal then was to start a business over in a city, new area, get the rolling, but it didn't work as fast as I thought it was going to be. So I took a job at Sprint again for a few months until I got the business ready, kind of like our first little pop-up space out in Trader's Village. Once we started that, I quit Sprint for about 10%. When we got into our last store, when we shut down kind of immediately, basically we took a year off. And it basically, in between time, I was debating about getting jobs.
I know that.
As much as I'm like, not too much of an entrepreneur, that's why I'm like, I can't do myself working a regular job here. And it was a big testament to my faith to this. And to God, it was like, am I gonna like stop my dream, my passion, my pursuit for happiness, to just work a job and make some money and make things neat? I had some money saved up, and I was basically floating a year of like just life. During that time period, it kind of like really tested me, but you hold on to as much faith as you possibly can in something, like it's always gonna work out. Finally, like we got the opportunity to cut this space and run with it ever since.
So when you opened in Dallas, like, were you nervous? Like, what were your initial fears, concerns? Like, other than the typical, like, is this the right pursuit anymore?
You know what? When I moved here, I actually had no concerns. I had planned here. I had planned to move to Dallas the whole year. As soon as we opened, started Jumpshot, like our first location, I had told my original business partner and like our employees then, like, hey, we're gonna open up a second store in Dallas. So like, the whole 2 years before you even became a thing, like, I had already been saying consistently. So when we finally, and at that point during that time, like there wasn't a lot of other stores out here.
Right.
But now there's a few other stores around. But at that point, there was no other stores, so I was like, all right, let's try that new way back as possibly can.
Right.
And took a couple years to get to that point, but so I started like basically in 2017, and we didn't open up to 2019 here. But yeah, just manifesting things and getting to that point, I was like, by the time I got here, I was so mentally ready to get involved.
Right.
It just took a lot of time to put the right things.
Right. So why Dallas? What's like your connection with Dallas? What made you open up here?
So, like I said, when we first started Dallas, like when I first started the business itself, I went to move to Dallas. There was no other stores currently in the city. Like there's some stores in Houston, some stores in San Antonio, Austin, but Dallas didn't really have a good sneaker shop, fitness shop, streetwear shop at the moment. Now, like I said, there's a few others, but there was like almost nothing here at that point. So I was like, all right, that's the great market. I think it's time for us to. We started off in a really small city, and it really helped out because like we were kind of like the top of the town type of thing. And I was ready to make that expansion. I only had like $4,000 or $5,000 here, so I was like, all right, I think maybe we got to be somewhere at some point. So I was like, all right, I can make that big transition. We made that transition to Dallas. Honestly, it's been working out ever since. Had its rocky moments every once in a while, but like keep going up.
Right. So with like the pandemic and stuff owning the store, because were you guys open 2020 to 2022? Like,
we were open for 1 month and 14 days before we had to shut down. But we were already in Traders Village for a whole year before that.
Okay.
So like we were already operating in Dallas.
Right.
It was just more like we moved into our big store where our clients like this is our jump to sort of like get off.
Right.
And a month later we had to like shut down for like 2 months.
So COVID like really affected y'all.
It did for that time period, but like it was just like it was weird. I feel like it helped us close, but we didn't skip a beat. Like as soon as the doors were able to be opened back up, like we were booming.
Okay.
So
good.
people were coming through.
Right.
People were buying stuff online all the time. Like we didn't really kind of lose too much. Like we were already closed for like a month, and we already had the month. We already had our money set for that closure anyway. So like as soon as we opened back up, like everything people started coming back out and shopping with us. Like our first day of reopening, we had like a line down the street, and I was like, yeah.
Y'all stay with the line.
We're trying.
Y'all stay with the line. That's literally my only hesitancy for back when I lived here forever, participating in like the $10 t-shirts that y'all do. Oh, because I be seeing that line.
A line. That's a long line. That's a sea of people.
It's a lot of
It gets kind of scary sometimes. Like our Black Friday sale that we had at our last store. Oh my God, there was like 3 days straight. It was over 200 people outside our door.
That's amazing.
It's a lot of money, but I was like also it was just kind of stressed out.
Yeah, y'all fuck with me like that.
I appreciate that. It was really dope.
Right. So with those and in those like super busy moments or even like COVID moments where, or those just rocky moments, like what keeps you motivated or who?
In those rocky moments, it was more like at this point, because a lot of times, even when I had business partners, it always felt like it was mostly on me to like make sure this is right. Although like lease agreements and stuff like that are in my name, so like at the end of the day, like this business is mine.
Right.
And I'm like, I knew that like, all right, if they were to quit or I would have to quit, like it's still on me to like like have to pay this rent. So like
Right.
every day I'm like, all right, how we make $50?
Right.
I make $100. Like just get up and like do it. Even during the times that we're closed, like I'm still liable for certain things and like keeping up a like paying my rent for my personal stuff and like
Right.
just keeping up with a lifestyle or whatever. And I feel like that would make me get up and do what I need to do every day. So
Right. Yeah. I agree. The bills be motivation.
the bills don't stop.
They
Some
don't
bills don't
quit.
stop. The way we
They
just
don't
paid.
quit.
If you want to go into business, guys, make sure that you understand that there's bills and costs for this outside of your normal lifestyle because the way we just dollar bill here at the store for electricity,
Just on electricity? No.
it is rough.
Yeah, that's
Sometimes you got to pay the cost to be the boss. So
right. So that was a great introduction to my next question. So, like, since owning stores, you said this is basically kind of your fifth location that you've opened. Like, what are the biggest lessons you've learned being a store owner, being a boss, being a manager, like any type of thing?
I think a lot of things I've learned during the time has just been like, even before we even opened the store, like I've always took things I've learned from my bosses from when I had jobs, and like I always pick and choose the things that they did well, the things that they didn't do well,
Right.
and I kind of like cultivate that into myself and like, all right, how did I treat my employees when they walk in? How we treat our customers when they walk in? Like,
Right.
this is like things that I've learned just during the time period of basically making sure that the experience, no matter who it is, whether you're working for us or not working for us, you're always having a good time there, basically. So
Right.
I've learned how to kind of be a better leader, be more of a sympathetic person, an understanding person. Sometimes I'm can be kind of rough, whatever, but or hard on others. But it's always come out of love. So
Yeah, and high expectations.
high expectations,
Yeah.
and I have learned to kind of like just like sometimes chill and relax to like make sure everything like is good in general.
Right. Right. So, okay, just so they know, give us a little quick description, a little quick rundown of the employees that you have here. What's their personality like? How many employees do you have?
Yeah. So we are still trying to expand. Right now we have a team of like 4 or 5. Right now we got myself, which is the general manager, owner. Then we got Riley, he's our store manager. He handles mostly everything that I handle as well. So me and him are like right there. Then right after that we have Roman, our sales associates. We got Roman, we got James. We have our friend that comes up every once in a while, Jalen. And then we're looking to add some more people in that space. And then outside of that direction, we have our boy All Smiles. He goes by boy Josh. He goes by All Smiles, and he helps us with like our website and stuff like that. So our team's like growing and is like starting to everyone's trying to fill their space and make sure this operation grows a lot bigger and better. So and each of those, they're like Riley. He's like a very good people person. People come in and he's like the
hilarious. That's to do with the glasses.
Yeah. He's like our TikTok star.
Yeah. I've been watching the videos.
He's very well deserving of what he's done and what he gets from here. So he's like our star dude there. We got Roman. He does our YouTube videos right now. He's been doing really well with those and doing like extra content for us. He's also just a great salesperson in general. We have James. James has been working with us for like 2 years now, and he's really just been like grinding and helping us put in work for the store. We always can count on him to help us and do shit like that too. So yeah, very very appreciative of our team. Like it's gonna keep growing. I can't wait to see it grow like in the next year or two. Hopefully we decide to open up a second store and we can like run this store by ourselves here. So.
Right. So what has having employees, and I'm sure you've, gone through employees and, had to fire or let go or whatever. What has, managing other people taught you specifically? Or like what things do you look for in an employee now?
When I'm looking for employees, I'm looking for someone who can just be a personal person, like be able to talk to people. Because like I said, it's a customer experience. It's Jumpshot wants to give you experience every time you walk in. So it's not just like the clothes that you're looking through, it's the people you're talking to, the music you're hearing, the stuff you're seeing against the walls. Like, and with our employees, we want to make sure that they're going to be the first person you talk to when you're walking in, obviously. So we want to make sure that everyone is a personal person. They don't think they're too cool. They don't think they're like, better than everyone. They're knowledgeable. They're willing to help, and I don't have to like ask them to help. They're willing to help.
Right.
That's the people we're kind of looking for at all times. So.
Got you. And how would you say, like, your employees now, how would they describe you?
How do they describe me? I think they would describe me as like helpful, like a teaching type of person because I'm always trying to like put them on game on stuff.
Right.
I think they looked at me kind of like I would say like a dad type in a sense because I'm a little bit older than all of them, so like I'm always just like, hey man, this is what we do, this is what we gotta do. Like, at the same time, very understanding, very helpful. Like, if they have issues and stuff, like trying to figure out how we do it, if they're having a problem getting to work, something like that, I'm usually pretty understanding. I think they would like, hopefully I'm a cool boss.
I feel like you would be a cool boss, so I feel like that's definitely consensus. But so if you could attribute the success of the store, like specifically this one, to any one thing or one food or one person or just anything, what do you think you would attribute?
I would attribute it to my team, specifically started with Riley because me and him like built this whole store mostly together. Covering like every asset of the store like, going forward. Our team after that, Roman and James and Josh as well. We've always kind of put our most effort into the store, so they really helped me do that. And my girlfriend as well, she really helped me kind of get through that 1 year of not working, helping me stay confident enough to do this and helping me to build build extra business plan. It's been like a lot of like effort added and kind of at the time. She was there to kind of help me. I attributed to her. I attributed to my mom as well. She also helped me a lot, helping me stay focused. So just making sure that I'm still doing the right thing, and wanting to do the right thing, the right this, So I always attribute everything to God as well.
So for anybody looking to follow a store or especially streetwear and get into, all this like kind of stuff you got going on, what tips would you give them? Or would you just, other than make sure your money's straight, the bills keep coming?
Sure. I would say you have to stay consistent. Like you have to make sure that you're showing up every day, make sure you have enough product, make sure you're posting every day, make sure you're doing this and that you know is doing right for you. Like you have to be consistent because a lot of people they fall off after like a couple months or even up to a year. But the more you stay consistent with it, more people are going to see what you got going on, more people are going to visit the shop. Number one thing is to stay consistent.
I definitely can vouch for that. So, last question, but what can we expect for the future of Jumpshot? What's next? Do you have any big sales coming up or any future store plans? Like, what's next?
So, at the moment, I think next week, our store is kind of like cultivates, we're trying to build a community around just Jumpshot itself. That comes from our customer base, our employee base, the events that we like host and be a part of. We're just trying to get that like heavily deep into that. I think that in the quick future, you're gonna see more events from us, more products, more employees coming around. Just overall experience. Continue to do our YouTube channel. I think that's helping us kind of grow a little bit. And I think kind of pops off. Can't wait to see that. It's really cool. You should watch it. A bunch of episodes. Really cool stuff with it. But
subscribe,
like, and comment. So we're doing all that, and I think later on we start working on expanding out to a different city, a different state. Open up a second store. Get our online moving a little bit faster. More little intricacies of our own business that help us kind of grow a lot.
Well, I'm very excited to see the future of you and everything. I know we have a little bit of a history, and I've seen the store a little bit, as it transitions. So it's definitely been amazing. Dude, this is about to become like freaking staple.
Has to be.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it started off a little slow when first opened up. Right? You can see how like this, like I think consistency. Keep swinging your bat until you hit the ball, and you'll get it out of the park. It's right now. It's like it's on its way up. It's been like getting past like a few months, get better, 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 better. Can't wait to see what this year works.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in.
A part of this interview and sharing your story with us. And like I already mentioned, everything will be linked in the description below. So make sure to follow them, show everybody some love. If you're in the Dallas area, definitely come check out the store. It's 8:45. And I will see you guys next month. Bye!